the valuable feature is basically, I would say that the requirement of the customer, right? You have features a lot in the product. It's not something that every product have it. But are these products going to meet the requirement of the customers? Because if you meet the requirement of the customer, then it's way too easy to get inside the customer. So I would say that we met the requirement of the customer, and that's what I believe that this product has value. If I'll tell you what actually would happen, a little bit of a business case that will help you to understand what it was like. The customer is the kind of a customer that really doesn't want to share anything, right? So when the person joined, they have generally when the person joined that organization, he has to pass through a couple of security levels or the scrutiny before the ID is going to give it to him. So they used to do a manual process. So whenever a person joined to the organization, they used to take his details, they used to write on a piece of paper, then this paper used to go to one other department, then it goes to another department, and it's not department that like you just cross a couple of buildings, it is some of regions. So this paper, and finally it goes for a couple of scrutiny procedures, then it used to come back to the IT department, and finally they do their security check and they create that ID and give it to an envelope. So that was some kind of the long procedure, and this procedure sometimes takes 2 months to 4 months to create the ID, just an ID for a person. So it was a challenge for the customer for the last 20 years. We were doing that project, and during the project the project owner was entrusted, the project sponsor was entrusted to just change this overall, but they had this security constraint. What they want actually was that when you are creating the ID, we want this person to be authenticated. Generally, this is not the case in any organization, that somebody join an office and he doesn't have any ID. So how you can authenticate it? So what happened was that what we've been told that what you guys do is authenticate through a national database. So we want when a person gonna join us and he will request for an ID, he should be authenticated by a biometric, and that fingerprint will take him to the national database where he will check in and will come back to their IDP, this identity provider, they have it internally, and then we will pass it to our system. Now, this was a challenge because in CA identity management, when you have a self-user registration page, this page was open, so anybody can go and open it. So we need to protect that page, and this page has to be protected. On the top of it, this information, and then protected to a third party. So what we did is we brought a couple of products in the middle of it. CA, as I told you that I'm going to use some old names because I'm an old guy. So CA SiteMinder Federation, CA SiteMinder, and CA Identity Management. So what happened when the user got authenticated with his fingerprint, it comes to the IDP, we have a federation through CA Federation or CA SiteMinder Federation, and then once it passed through it, we have SiteMinder, which is protecting the identity management page. And once it passes this information, it comes to the self-user registration page. But here's a challenge, another challenge, that you've been authenticated, but now you have a page which is open. I can authenticate myself and put someone else to register. That could be possibility. So we had a problem. So what we did is we just pulled the data out from the third party, from the national database, and brought them on the CA identity page, the self-user registration page. And all his names, IDs, all his phone numbers, that comes automatically. And then it goes for a several approval process. Finally, the ID has been transmitted over his mobile number that is there in their national database. So that kind of work we had done. There are other challenges which later on, if you want, I can explain it. I think the future releases, if you ask with me, I think they had done a lot in the new release, especially the front end. The front end is not that as good. So I think the CA did a good job in doing, especially when I look in the conference, the new identity suite, they had done a good job in changing the overall look and feel. So this is what actually the customer was looking for. So his look and feel was not good in the earlier product. It's a journey, right? So we just completed one of a requirement for customer, right? I would say that CA has a reporting at the moment, right? Is a reporting, every particular segmented product has a reporting engine, right? But if they would have a centralized reporting for all together, so if a customer, enterprise customer, he has all these 3-4 modules for security, he will get a consolidated reporting. What the problem we had with the customer was at the moment is that we able to integrate these products together, we able to get the requirement done for the customer, but his business requirement, that reporting side, we were unable to do it through out of the box. So if CA has a consolidated reporting all together in 3, it may be easier. I'm not sure, but it may be easier, yeah. Being my experience working with CA for almost 13 years, right? It's a company, I'm not saying it's specific to a solution. I'm talking about a CA journal. It's a company with a solution, and the company with the right solutions. Yes, there are critics, and these critics help CA to build their good solutions. If I rate CA security, identity suite, SSO solution, I would say that they will be rated somewhere on the 8 to 9, middle of 8 or 9 in terms of rating. Extraordinary product, extraordinary flexibility to explore and meet the requirement of the customer. When you are looking for a security solution, products are there in the market, right? But you really don't want to go for a product that is look very beautiful from the front, but it has a very bad, kind of stuff at the back end. And CA, one good thing is that CA has, I believe that it has an edge, that it allows me to do a lot what customer is looking for, beyond the customer, beyond the product boundaries. So there are certain things that we could not be able to do it if this solution CA doesn't have this flexibility. So this flexibility in the solution, especially, and it's highly secure, it is highly reliable solution to work with. I'm telling you, we had implemented this solution almost like a year and a half, and up until now, no downtime. So it is reliable, it is good, it is open for customization, it is open for integration, yeah.